Friends in the Corner, a new podcast experience in the bluegrass state of Kentucky. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Dan Polly. How are you guys all doing today? And guys, we just want to say we're excited about this episode of the podcast, but we do want to say just in advance that listener discretion is advised, as we are a family-friendly podcast, but sometimes we have some episodes where we just want to censor it just for people, but we still hope you enjoy what we have to offer here today. But before we get into our podcast episode, let me tell you a little bit about how my day has been going here for you guys. So I think I've told you guys this before, but in case you've never heard, I do have a day job outside of podcasting. I wish I could get paid just to podcast with you guys, but unfortunately, I got to pay the bills. So I do that as an admissions counselor for Bluegrass Community Technical College, BCTC for short. And today, I had to go to Anderson County, Lawrenceburg, for a recruiting event up that way. I do recruiting events, go into high schools, talk to students. It's a fun job. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But I had to go up to Anderson County today to do an event with them. But I had one little snag today. Got up this morning, got ready, was getting ready to go up to Anderson County that morning, or at least go get my van so I could go up to Anderson County that morning. But got in my car, kept turning the engine, the car wouldn't start. I was thinking, what the heck happened here? And I see that my battery's dead. I left my lights on all night like an idiot, and it drained my battery all night. So just so you know, keep checking those headlight flashers, guys, whenever you get in your car. So thankfully that morning, my two roommates were there, and Will, who's one of my roommates, graciously gave me a ride to work. I think I made him late for work, so I appreciate him for that. And I got there, was getting ready to get in my work van, but then I realized I left my keys to that van in my car back at my house. So I had to call my other roommate, Daniel, and ask him to go get my keys out of my car and bring them to me to BCTC. Daniel is a graduate student over at the University of Kentucky, so he was already on his way to campus by that point here. But when I was talking to him, he said, well, I got to get to this exam, if I can't be late to this. And it was a little discouraging to me because I had to go out of my way to go on campus and stuff like that, but I needed to get these car keys. So I went and met him on UK's campus. I ran like a wild man in a full suit to get on there and find him and get those car keys. I saw him. I didn't have time to even say hi or bye. I just said, oh, what a day. And then I ran and got back into the van, screamed a little bit, got a little bit of my anger, anxiety out. I know I'm a weird person. And then I made my way up to Anderson County. And by the time I got to Anderson County, I was emailing people telling them I was going to be late. But I was the first one there. See, because the event didn't start at 9 o'clock. It started at 9:30. People didn't have to show up till 9:30. So I probably could have had another 30 minutes to try to find a jump and all that stuff. So that being said, though, I appreciate Will and Daniel giving their time this morning to help me out with my situation. It's good to have good friends in your corners, guys. No pun intended. Yeah, pun intended. Good friends in your corners. And I also want to say thank you to my girlfriend, Catherine, who brought me lunch while I was in Anderson County, too. She works up that way, so it was only a quick little turn to the curb for her to come down and see me, and I had a good time seeing her. So I got back to Cooper campus, BCTC, where my office is at. And my other former roommate, my buddy Evan, who's going to be on a future episode here, Evan Drysdale, you've heard me talk about him before. So Evan took me back to my house and helped me jump my car here, and I had to run it for a little bit. I actually took my car out to go run an errand, and I guess I turned it off too soon, and the battery wasn't charged enough, so my car died again in the parking lot out there. But thankfully, one of the employees at the spot I was at came out, brought me his car, and helped me jump it there. So new friend in my corner from there. But guys, it has been a day, and I don't know what it's been. The car's turning on again, off again now, so we're doing well. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who helped me out with today. It has just been crazy. And so if you guys maybe want to help make my day a little bit better, you can always try to follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at FITC Podcast. That's FITC Podcast. You can follow my personal Twitter. I've never really pitched that before, but I want to start doing that. My personal Twitter, which is DanPolly14. It's at DanPolly14. And you can always leave us a review on iTunes and Stitcher. If you can do that for us, that'd be fantastic. That helps us get better content out there for people. So on iTunes and Stitcher, leave us a 5-star review. Let's get our name out there. I've gotten a lot of listens in the last couple of weeks here. Over 300 listens. Whoo! Someone's doing it right out there for me, and I appreciate you. Friends in my corner. So please be sure to leave us a review. Let's change gears a little bit here and talk about what we're going to be doing this month here on FITC. So, guys, you guys have been listening to my interviews over the last 2 months, and we've had some good ones from DJ Otis Badass, Ryan Davis, Ryan Coach from Seedleaf, Kelly Hieronymus from West 6, Max Godby. Actually, Max is one of my favorites too. So thank you, Max, for that. But guys, I hope you guys have been enjoying our interviews, and we're going to continue to do interviews on this podcast. That's not something we're going to move away from anytime soon. But that being said, we do also want to talk about doing some stuff that may not always revolve around doing a interview with someone here on the podcast. And we want to try to put some of our own original content out there as well. So that is what October is going to be about. October Originals! Yes, October Originals. Yes, we're going to be trying to do some of our own original content for you guys. Hoping you will enjoy it for the most part, and seeing if it's something that sticks around for the long run here on our podcast. Because guess what? We're not going anywhere. Yes, I am so excited to be doing this podcast here for you guys. I'm trying to be doing some more content for you as we continue to go into the end of the year from this point on. So if you guys have ideas for the show and you want to try to get some more original content up there, please email me at friendsinthecorner@gmail.com. That's friendsinthecorner, all together lowercase, @gmail.com. All suggestions are welcomed. And this week, we've got a good one here for you guys. We're going to be doing a professional bourbon review. Probably already lied to you about that. So I decided on one episode I wanted to talk about bourbon. I'm a bourbon collector. I'm a bourbon enjoyer. And I thought, hey, that's something that's pretty well connected to Kentucky is bourbon. What is Kentucky known for? Basketball, horses, and bourbon. So we're going to talk about all three of those here at some point on the podcast. Don't you worry about that. We're doing bourbon today. That being said, I don't know that many professional bourbon tasters around these parts, unfortunately. I do know a lot of professional bourbon drinkers, though. And so I decided to bring those guys onto the podcast. And so I invited my good friends, Chris Wilson, Travis Baumann, Zach Nichols, and my roommate, Daniel Summers, who saved my butt earlier today, to come onto this podcast and do a little bit of a bourbon taste review for you guys here today. We're going to be reviewing Buffalo Trace. So that being said, welcome to our not-so-professional bourbon review. Let's go! Are you ready, Zach?
I'm ready, Dan.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good, because we've already started recording.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're already in the middle of this. So welcome, everybody, to the very first ever bourbon review. As far as I know, we are the very first people to ever review bourbon on a podcast before.
Listen to the guttural noises of us drinking liquid.
Yes. So this is going to be our first bourbon review. We've got a great cast here today. We're going to be reviewing a couple different bourbons from Buffalo Trace today. But before we talk about which bourbons we're going to be getting into here, let's get a sound of who's all around us here today.
My name is Daniel. I drink bourbon.
My name's Zach, and I like to party.
My name is Chris, and I was just walking by on my way to work, and then these guys kind of pulled me in, and I don't know what I'm doing here, but here I am.
I'm Travis. To get a sense of the palate I have, I ate 10 White Castle cheeseburgers on the way here, and here I am to give tasting reviews. So, what a world.
So, I think we need to preface this and say this as far as bourbon reviews go. We are not experts.
Except for me.
Yeah, if this was like Pornhub, we'd be listed under amateur or a category like that.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty good at drinking, though.
Yeah, we're all pretty good at drinking bourbon, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got some fancy stuff here, but yeah, we're gonna jump into these bourbons here and do a little bit of a tasting here. So just to give you the listeners an idea of what we're gonna be drinking, we'll start off with the good stuff first. All of these are Buffalo Trace bourbons. The first one will be E.H. Taylor single barrel. Yep. E.H. Taylor single barrel, Eagle Rare, We got two different versions of Buffalo Trace. We got Buffalo Trace regular, and then we have a Buffalo Trace single barrel from two local stores here in the Lexington area. And finally, the bottom of the shelf benchmark as well.
So we've got sheets in front of us numbered 1 to 5. Am I going to know which one is, 2, 3, 4, any of them, or am I just like guess and check?
Yeah, so Daniel has taken our 5 bourbons that we have and mixed them up on our board here. So we're going to go through each one and try them, and then we're going to guess which bourbon we think we're drinking for each number we have here.
Yep, and then I'll tell everybody, which bourbon is which.
All right, take it away.
All right. So we'll take the first bourbon here. Just smell it real quick and then take a swig.
Oh.
How are they going to taste it?
They're not. We're here to taste it for them.
So what it?
Unless they want to do it with us.
I want to be very upfront and say I don't like bourbon, so this is going to be a chore.
It's not the best.
God, if I have to describe the taste of it, I feel like I just made out with a dragon.
It is very intense in the back of the throat.
Yeah, what are some descriptors I should have like in my pocket if I want to sound smart?
What are some other
Is it oaky? Is it oaky? Can I say oaky?
That was definitely
That's
not
always
oaky.
a safe bet because all bourbon is oaky.
That definitely did not taste oaky, though.
It tasted like fire caramel or something.
Yeah.
What are some other features you guys are thinking about?
There's definitely a distinct alcohol flavor to it.
No. I'll censor it.
I feel like Chris is the only one of us who effectively knows how to do a tasting because his wasn't all gone in a gulp. I feel like the majority of us did shots, and Chris said, I really want to experience this liquor.
So where does everyone think this one is at? Which one do you think it is? I won't tell you.
I think you gave us the benchmark first.
Did I?
I think you gave us benchmark first. You said we're gonna start you off with the worst one and vamp our way up. I'm going number 1.
It's
the worst one.
I'll tell you this: it is not directly in order of cheapest to highest.
That means it's not directly in order. You threw a curveball in there once, and this is definitely the benchmark. That's my guess.
I agree.
I forgot what the options were.
I don't want to say it's benchmark just yet. I do want to say it may be. You're gonna hate me for this. I think it's gonna be Eagle Rare.
You think it's Eagle? You think it's Eagle Rare?
I think it's Eagle Rare.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm
What's your vote? Chris.
So it's Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace regular, a single barrel select version of
Okay.
Buffalo Trace, benchmark, Eagle Rare,
and then
E.H. Taylor single barrel.
Man, yeah, I'm kind of leaning with Dan. I think it's Eagle Rare. It's been a while since I've had that one, but
Really?
I can tell
Okay.
you,
So we've
I'm
got
pretty sure it's not Buffalo Trace because I've got a lot of that at my house.
yeah. So we've got 2 for benchmark and then 2 for Eagle Rare.
I haven't counted in a few days, but
Yeah, I've gone benchmark. What did Zach say?
He said benchmark.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go to show 2 of us very much so don't like the flavor of this.
You don't count. No, I get it. You already know.
Right.
The answers.
I know the
I know
answers.
benchmark.
I'm sitting here. And it's like, okay, we got 2 on one side, 2 on another side, but there's 5 of us, and I'm like, can't reconcile it. But now I get it.
So number 2, guys, like before, let's do a sniff.
Snifter.
Sorry, I'm busy cleaning. Came here to clean, apparently.
Yeah, and then before we go ahead and drink it, what do you guys think of the smell?
It's distinctively weaker than the first one.
Yeah, this one's a little bit softer. I'm expecting it not to burn me like the fires of hell.
I think so too. Let's see.
Way better.
Yeah, that was a lot smoother.
Yeah, I think that's the.
I'm not dying in the back of my throat.
You can taste like the bourbon flavor in that one. It doesn't taste like alcohol.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'll be honest, drinking this one makes me believe that he directly gave us paint thinner as the first drink. Thank you so much. He's now replenished the one that I spilled as well.
Can I say which one I think this is?
Yes.
It's got to be one of the Buffalo Traces.
That's what I'm thinking.
But like not. I mean, I know that they're all Buffalo Traces, but like either the regular one or single barrel. I haven't thought through into it that much, but
I'm thinking it's regular Buffalo.
Regular Buffalo.
Yeah.
Can someone please tell me the difference between regular Buffalo and single barrel?
yeah. One of them is wearing a hat.
So the single barrel Buffalo was a hand-picked barrel by I think Big Cat Liquor.
Big Cat and Coliseum
Big
Liquor.
Cat and Coliseum Liquor. So somebody went out there, tried samples, and picked that particular barrel of Buffalo Trace, brought it to their store, and then bottled it.
So once again, being a know nothing, so like different barrels of bourbon, like from the same group, whatever, same class,
So
taste differently.
So regular Buffalo Trace, they take a bunch of barrels, hundreds of barrels, mix them together, and then that creates Buffalo Trace. So for the single barrel is just one single barrel that somebody went and picked out.
Okay, they said like this one's ours.
This one's a
better.
really good one. I want this one.
Yeah, I don't want that trash normal Buffalo.
Right, exactly.
Okay, cool, thanks.
No problem.
Wearing the hat.
Yeah, the one wearing the hat.
So
All right.
everybody thinks it's regular Buffalo?
I think it's single barrel.
You think it's single barrel Buffalo?
I'm gonna say I think it's single barrel too.
Single barrel Buffalo?
Yeah, I enjoyed that one significantly more than the first one, and I didn't expect to. So I'll say that it's the single barrel.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's.
Peer pressure.
So we got 3 single barrel Buffaloes, and then Dan says
I say regular Buffalo.
regular Buffalo. All right.
Yep, I say regular Buffalo.
I can't wait for someone who like knows what they're doing to listen to this and be like, these guys are so wrong.
We
They don't even know
are
what they're doing. They're just
We
drinking.
preface that we're amateurs.
we are definitely not qualified to give a bourbon review, but we got Kentucky football in the back.
What's the
They're up.
score?
It's 27-3. Murray State's on the board somehow. Yeah, go Cats.
Did you guys see the Browns game last week?
Yeah, the best win.
I only obsessively held my shirt in my mouth while pacing across this very room we're in.
I gave the Browns a shout out on my last podcast. It's the best start we've had since 2004. So go Browns.
Yeah, I mean we've made it one game and we haven't even changed our starting quarterback yet. So I'm excited.
The mountain is high, guys. It's great.
All right, are we on to number 3?
I think so.
3.
This one smells real good.
This does smell good.
I just accidentally smelled the microphone.
This one's got a nice caramely smell, smooth. It's gonna go down the gullet real nice.
I'm ready to stuff this one in my gob. It smelled better than it tastes.
Yeah,
There's the benchmark.
there's the benchmark.
I only think this one tastes better because I'm already kind of tipsy and like it's easier to go down. This is rough. I think one of these is just gasoline.
So I always think we've got a good friend of ours that's not with us at this table. His name's Jesse, and Jesse is notorious for liking the worst bourbons.
Oh, I saw him this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah, he had a stamp on his face.
He's also notorious for falling asleep at bars when we go out.
And I always think if I dislike this bourbon, Jesse must really love this bourbon. So
What's the consensus here?
My palate hurts.
So benchmark.
Benchmark.
Let's say the second word.
What one is like? What's one that it's not a classy one, but it's definitely not benchmark.
One was
What
the word.
this tastes like what homeless people drink.
Wait, don't make fun of malt liquor.
They drink schnapps.
Schnapps.
That's at least I literally have seen a homeless man walk into a store and say, "I want the schnapps," and I'm like,
Give me that schnob, boy.
You mean schnapps?
"Yeah, I mean, this is what he said." So, but all right. So who says it's benchmark?
I've already casted my vote for bench.
You can change it. You just got now.
I think you gave us 3 benchmarks and then 2 good ones. God, and there's there's someone there listening who just knows what they're talking about and is just like seething at the fact
And
that
they can really tell which one we're drinking
Based on our
off how we're
descriptions.
reacting.
Yeah.
That's great.
Harlan Wheatley is going to get a hold of this podcast, and he's going to listen to it and think, who the hell are these guys?
Definitely pros. That's how he's gonna describe us.
Professionals. We'll be professionals by the end of this.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, does anyone want to change their first answer from benchmark?
No.
So did anyone like this one?
I liked it better than the first one.
Yeah.
I agree, and I actually, I think this might be Eagle Rare.
Okay.
I agree with
I'm
that.
sorry,
It's
I'm
got
really
that-
bad
it's
at
got
reaching
that
for the
real-
mic. I think this might be Eagle Rare, though.
I agree with that. It's got that nice caramely flavor that
Yeah.
Eagle has. I agree, 100%.
So we got some benchmarks and we got some Eagle Rares.
Yeah.
Which is a shame that, like,
That you're comparing those two
I don't-
together. Which one?
One should be very different.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
See,
it is.
I
The
don't
first one was
know.
a lot.
The first one's horrible.
I don't know the names of them or the value that's associated with them. So just saying Eagle Rare.
So Eagle Rare is a $30 bourbon. It's one of it's kind of a higher.
Okay, I could see this being a $30 bourbon if you get a lot of it. If they give me a very big bottle, anything's a $30 bourbon if you get a big enough bottle of it.
They gave you the whole barrel.
Oh yeah, this is the barrel
They have real Eagles make it.
made out of bits of real eagle. Yeah, I could really see that because I feel like it tasted like, I don't know, there was bits of feather in it. Am I a real sommelier now?
Real one.
I said it was made by Eagles, not of Eagles.
By
Or if you're
Eagles,
from
of Eagles.
Philadelphia, Eagles.
Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly, fly to victory. Are we ready for number
Hey,
4?
Dan, that was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
You should start a band.
Start a band. I've already
Number
started a
D.
podcast. I don't know if I can take on too many projects here. All right, we ready for number 4 here?
4, here we go. Also D.
You gonna be okay, Travis?
I'm still hungover from last night, and this is just gonna be rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, I'm gonna smell it first because we gotta smell it, boys. Come on.
This smells really good.
It's got real nice
Smells
caramely
bet-
smells.
Okay. Yeah, this one actually, for the first time when someone says like, "Oh, there's a little bit of caramel scent to it," like I can believe it.
Yeah, it's also
A little
less
bit of spice
less
to it.
alcohol-y, like a little spice to it. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that for sure.
Just smelling this, it doesn't feel like it's gonna hurt me. Like I feel like it's not. And then he coughs. I feel like it's not gonna throat punch me.
E.H. Taylor? Yeah?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Wow.
That is
I'm at a crossroads here because it's either Buffalo
That
single barrel or E.H. Taylor. At least that's what I got.
that
on my
is
list.
an incredibly complex flavor.
But
That is
Please describe it.
it's complex, man.
If I could say it in one word, indescribable. No, that one didn't bring me any anguish. I've lost the
my
blanket that's been
Lord.
around my legs this entire time. I'm warm and
That one is
ready to hang out with my friends.
That one is so good. It's like spiced caramel. That one is so good.
You've got quite the sensitive palate.
I love that through each like shot or tasting we've done, we've gotten aggressively louder, so you know that we're actually drinking it.
Oh my lord.
well, as I was saying, doing a podcast bourbon review is maybe not the most ideal because it's bourbon is all about sight, smell, and taste. We're going for sound.
Yeah, we're really not.
Giving you the senses you never get when it comes to bourbon. You never hear about it.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like we're not really reviewing the flavor as much as we are just our inner monologue while we drink it.
Yeah.
Like, we're just saying the things
this
that
is-
nobody really says when they actually drink it. Like
This is
everybody
what-
wants to be Don Draper, but they're really just getting.
I'm gonna say a real blasphemy. I don't know who that is.
Don Draper?
Who's Don Draper?
Madman's yeah.
It's like,
Sorry, guys.
if you just want to like get lost in a 30 hours of self-deprecating TV.
No, I do.
Watch
I do
Batman.
enough of that without TV.
So yeah, we're basically talking about what we normally talk about at the bar.
You know, this one tasted like I actually really enjoyed this one. It wasn't painful to down, and I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna say that this is the single barrel. The last single barrel that I said was single barrel. Nope. It's
Which
normal.
single barrel though? There's 2 single
Oh,
barrels.
there's 2 of them. What are the?
E.H. Taylor is the $100 single barrel.
I'll give that one.
And then there's a Buffalo Trace single barrel.
This is EH because I feel like
Cream of the crop.
I feel like this had a distinctly different flavor than the one that you guys were like, oh, is this single barrel Buffalo or like the other Buffalo?
Right.
And this one tasted nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much spice. There was so much caramel. There was so much
The
complexity.
there, well,
A beautiful review.
with that
gonna call
also,
it poet
it was
beforehand.
just so much like smoother to drink. Like you could actually you could taste all the flavors and didn't have like that real burn until it got to the back of your throat. And it
That's
was
where it's
much
supposed to
tame.
burn.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
significantly more tame than whatever the hell we drank at the start of this podcast. But
I think the first thing we drank was actually just liquefied Taco Bell.
well, I'm gonna cast my vote for E.H. Taylor for this.
E.H. Taylor? Is that the round vote?
Chris Wilson.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah,
Yes.
it's definitely not the Buffalo Trace, unless their single barrels are vastly different than the normal ones.
We just put both Mike's in Chris's face at the same time.
He didn't complain.
It happens all the time.
All right, are we ready for number 5, everybody?
Do number 5.
Number 5. The smells.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
I haven't even smelled mine
I've
yet.
not tried it. It's given me distinct Buffalo Trace vibes. Distinct, just from the smell.
Cool.
Good talk, Coach.
Go for it.
You got it, Travis.
And
I'm pretty sure this is the Eagle Rare, actually.
This one's definitely different than everything else. Man, but that just makes me. I'm sitting there trying to think of where the regular Buffalo Trace came from, because there was one I liked a lot, and maybe I probably do have a terrible peasant palate. But I'm trying to place one as like the other Buffalo, and that's not this. This is Eagle Rare.
You think that's Eagle Rare?
yeah,
Signed, sealed, and drank.
Delivered.
well, I'm kind of at the same crossroads because I literally have rushed off everything except Buffalo Single Barrel. I've pretty much crossed it off, but that does not taste, I feel like, a single barrel would. So I'm trying to go back and think through myself what it was. Because if I said it was Eagle Rare, then I got to figure out what the hell I drank at the start of this thing was.
For a real question, how many times have you looked at us and been like, man, these idiots, they have no clue what's on their tongues?
You guys have impressed me, actually. You guys have been pretty close on most all of them.
Well, pretty close. There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
There's only 5. Chris, what do you have to say about it? Give me those
I don't
notes.
know. Oh man, I'm just keeping track of my own things. The problem that I'm having is that the only one that I haven't drank in the past 24 hours is Eagle Rare. That's probably the reason why I keep going back and forth, because I don't remember what it tastes like. But I used to.
We're
The
definitely
bourbon,
not
but-
qualified to do this review at all.
I think that makes it even more fun.
Yep.
I think that makes it even more fun that we have no idea what we're doing.
But we have opinions about it.
We have opinions.
And we want you to know.
We're the average voter.
Yeah. So
Absolutely no
so
research.
just
all of the
putting this
authority.
out here to Mr. Wheatley over at Buffalo Trace. If you want us to come taste test, be guest taste testers for a couple barrels of Pappy Van Winkle, we are more than happy to come and review those.
If you want to be on the next show, I don't know you or how significant your role is, but you sound cool.
He's the master distiller.
Is that big? Is that a big thing? I can make up titles too. I'm the master arcanist of my apartment. That doesn't make me a wizard.
Oh,
It does if you drink enough.
All right. Well, how do we want to cast our votes here?
Well, has everybody got their ranking as far as like what they like the best and what they like the worst?
4 was definitely the best.
4 was the best.
4 was the best for me too.
Hey, stop giving me your answers. I want my own.
I'm giving my listeners the answers.
Shut up. Sorry, give me a second. All right. Dunzo.
I just need to know, what's the association
the
between
exact
the
same
letters
words,
and
Really?
the numbers?
There is one. We did a numerical system first, but then we switched to an alphabetical system halfway through. So there's literally no correlation between. Unless
So-
Dan, you put this together. Is there correlation between the two?
A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5.
So no, there's no correlation.
Hell yeah.
So
Okay, I'm gonna have to redo my math, but I think I get it now.
the fourth drink that we drank,
The fourth drink.
or the fourth drink,
The,
was my favorite.
you set it up so that the E.H. Taylor would be number 4, so we all have to say that we like D. That's what it is. I like the D.
But yeah, E.H. Taylor was number 4.
Yeah.
The $100 bottle.
Number
Everybody did get it. That's why I said you all were pretty much on the money.
Honestly, I'm a little upset. I always wanted to have like a cheaper palate. Like I want to like the cheap. If you said 4 was benchmark, I'd have been stoked. I'd have been drunk for the next 6 days off $4.82, and that's the life that I want to live.
There are places you can go for that.
Yeah.
Everybody got 4 as E.H. Taylor, the most expensive bourbon.
Yeah.
What was your second pick?
5.
Yeah, 5. I'm giving the single barrel.
I thought it was
to.
Eagle Rare.
Zach thinks 5 was Eagle Rare.
I'm going the single barrel.
Single barrel Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with Travis on this one.
I agreed with the high class man.
On number 5, or my second favorite one was number 3.
Okay.
But
What was your opinion on 5?
You obviously hate
5 was good, but I don't know if it was the single barrel Buffalo.
Okay.
Okay, so
What?
You hate flavor.
Stupid.
okay.
You're a big dumb palate.
So it seems like most people thought 5 was the second best. That was the single barrel Buffalo.
Okay.
Oh.
This goes to show you can know not a thing and still be right.
I don't know if this makes us professionals or alcoholics by this point.
Happy to be either one.
All
All right, you said 3 was your second favorite.
Yeah.
What did everybody else think of 3?
Oh, wait a minute. No, I didn't mean 3. I meant 2. 3 is what I think benchmark was.
You think 3's benchmark?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 2 is regular Buffalo. That's my guess.
You are correct.
Holy
There's going to be a lot of editing on this episode.
2 is regular Buffalo.
Oh my god.
That means 3 is Eagle Rare.
Yeah, you're right. 3 is Eagle Rare.
3 I literally just wrote
3.
the other one.
The one that people thought was either benchmark or Eagle Rare was Eagle Rare.
So
I'm 5 for 5. I'm 5 for 5. No way. Because I said 1 was Terabad, and that's benchmark. Another one, I literally just wrote the other one because I couldn't think of its name.
Well, I got 3 out of 5 because I said the first one was Eagle Rare and benchmark was the third one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I had.
So-
I knew number 1 was benchmark.
As the
I-
Lord
yeah,
said,
absolutely.
the last will be
I-
first.
Buffalo Trace. Single
No,
barrel.
He said
yeah.
that, right?
Did you get 5 out of 5 too?
No. Not 2 out of 5.
I dropped out of 7.
2 out of 5.
I knew
Go Travis.
I got 5 out of 5.
So what have we
Beginner's
learned
luck.
here? So what we've learned is Travis is the most qualified bourbon reviewer out of our entire friend group.
Yeah, I'd
don't
like
tell
to
him.
take a moment and say what I did. So, like, if you're eating sushi and you really want to enjoy it, you down some ginger in between to clear off that tasty palate of yours. What I did was I had habanero cheese White Castle cheeseburgers, and a
He's
lot
been
of
eating them the whole time.
what
None.
I've already taken so many Tums,
I've already taken so many times.
and now I might take more. Well, here you are, Dan.
I knew that number 1 was going to be the benchmark because it immediately put me back as a sophomore in college the second that it touched my lips. And I wasn't sure how I managed to be drinking in somebody else's house again, but then I knew.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Number 1 just reminded me of drinking with Jesse. It was just like,
Cheers to Jesse
real,
Peterson.
real bad bourbon.
Welcome to the podcast where we make inside jokes about friends you don't know.
I already described.
They are still in the corner, though. It's just not
They're
our
friends in
corner,
the corner.
and not with us and
They're
away
friends
from
in
us.
our corner.
And they don't know that we're
just the
talking
wrong
about
corner. Well, I
I
described
hope
Jesse.
Jesse listens to this.
I wonder how he's gonna feel when he listens to this. He's like, "Huh, this is an insult Jesse episode,
Well, you'll definitely-
masquerading as a bourbon review."
You'll certainly find out if he actually listens to it or not, though. Because if he doesn't, then he won't say anything. If he
we
does,
love
you'll
Jesse
know.
here. We love Jesse.
I think I know him.
If he is offended, he'll be on our next podcast, Ex-Friends in the Corner.
He's gonna start his own spin-off. Friends in the other corner, away from those.
Getting out of the corner. Oh, we won't pick on Jesse. There's other friends we can insult, like Evan Drysdale.
Not on bourbon.
Insult him and give no reference.
Not on bourbon. He has good taste in bourbon.
Evan does have good taste in bourbon.
Evan got married at Buffalo Trace, and we were in the wedding. He's gonna get 5 out of 5. It's him, but it's not him. It's me.
Which is why I'm embarrassed that I couldn't recognize which one was the regular Buffalo Trace, because I drank a lot of it at his wedding. Like a lot.
Evan had a really good wedding at Buffalo
I'm pretty
Trace.
sure I got Travis really drunk there too.
Travis got Travis real drunk. Let's not beat around the bush. Travis grinded on anybody imaginable,
Even me.
and it was on his own volition.
All right.
Welcome to our Deep Confession podcast. This is Travis Baumann.
Friends in each other's
These
corner.
are my confessions.
All right, well, guys, I want to say thank you so much for being a part of the very first bourbon review. We will see if people like this and want to keep listening to it.
Which one was number 3?
Which
number C.
Number C.
I mean, letter.
that was
D.
Eagle Rare, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Oh.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, one more time before we sign off, I'll go through the order. So the first one that everyone hated was Benchmark. Second one was the regular Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
Third one was Eagle Rare. The fourth one was the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. Everybody loved.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God that's not the one I spilled.
And the fifth one was the Buffalo Trace Single Barrel Select.
Yeah. So a good bourbon review, guys. Just coming out here to try to test some bourbon. Honestly, it's just good just to drink with some friends, right?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like less of a review and more of a reaction video, but without the video. But reaction podcast. Sorry, this is actually the first podcast I've ever listened to.
Pretty much like
Right now,
Dan-
real time, live action.
I think Dan said, like, I can't
the
think of
bar
any
high.
content. Do you guys just want to drink? And here we are.
Jokes on him. I already was.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for the first review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And always, if you guys have anything else you guys want to add to the podcast, you can always follow us on Twitter at FITC Podcast. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also email the show at friendsinthecorner@gmail.com. That's friendsinthecorner, all together lowercase, @gmail.com. Thank you all again. Oh, God, we're a hot mess. But, guys, we hope you enjoyed our not-so-professional bourbon review of Buffalo Trace. We had some good times drinking some of their bourbon and testing it out, just doing a few reviews and also just hanging out with some good buddies as well. So we hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you guys want to, hey, you're more than welcome to tweet this over to Buffalo Trace. Maybe we'll get a retweet, hopefully, or maybe they'll hate it. One of the two. But either way, send it over to Buffalo Trace, see what they think about it. And since you're already on Twitter, why don't you go ahead and follow me on Twitter at DamnPolly14. You can also follow our show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at FITC Podcast. Remember, you can always email the show at friendsinthecorner@gmail.com for the October Originals. Send us some of your ideas. Let's put it on the podcast here. I'm not too afraid. I'm sure someone's got a good idea out there we can use. But also, be sure to leave a review on iTunes and Stitcher if you can. We would love to have those reviews just to put more extra content out there as well. Guys, we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Friends in the Corner. Next week, we're going to be coming back with another original for you guys to listen to. We'll see you then. That's a wrap.